Hey, that's my bait! Got one!
AI filmmaking just got a massive upgrade. You can now take a single storyboard image and turn it into a complete animated sequence. This means you no longer have to create every shot one by one, deal with inconsistent characters, or waste credits trying to fix scenes that almost look right. And honestly, I think this is one of the biggest improvements we've seen for AI filmmaking. The interesting part is that most creators are only using half of what this workflow can do. They're making storyboard images, but they're skipping one small step that can make the final animation much more consistent and professional. The best part is that this same method works for animated shorts, product commercials, stylized films, and even cinematic multi-shot sequences. So in this video, I'll show you the complete workflow from start to finish. And there's another big advantage to this approach. It doesn't just improve quality, it can also save a lot of credit. Instead of creating one image for every single shot, you're giving the AI a clear plan with multiple scenes in one image. Before we get started, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Now, everything I'm showing you today was created inside Dzine AI. If you'd like to follow along, I'll leave a link in the description below. As you can see, I've already created a few storyboard projects using GPT Image 2. Over the last few weeks, I've become a huge fan of this model because the image quality and character consistency have been really impressive. However, before we create any storyboard, there's one important step that many creators either skip or don't explain properly. Instead of starting with a storyboard, we're going to create a character sheet first. The reason is simple. If you let the AI create a new version of your character every time, small details will slowly change from scene to scene. The face might look different, the clothes might change, the body proportions might shift. And once you turn everything into a video, that lack of consistency becomes very noticeable. So rather than fixing those problems later, we're going to lock in the character design from the beginning. The good news is that this step is actually very simple. Inside Dzine AI, the first thing you need to do is upload a few reference photos of yourself. I've already uploaded several different images here. Next, we'll use a character sheet prompt. If you'd like this prompt, leave a comment below and I'll share it with you. Now, the great thing about this prompt is that you only need to edit two sections. The first section is the character appearance. This is where you describe exactly how your character should look. The second section is the visual style. For this example, I'm typing a Pixar animation style. Everything else in the prompt acts as a framework, so you can leave it exactly as it is. For the image model, I'm selecting GPT Image 2. At the moment, I've had the best results with this model, especially for character quality and consistency. I'll set the image size to 2K, switch the quality to high, and then generate the images. And here's what we get. Honestly, these turned out really well. The AI follows our description almost perfectly. We get a full body front view, a full body back view, a detailed front portrait, and a side portrait. Together, these create a complete reference sheet for our character. If you want a completely different character or art style, you don't need to rebuild the entire workflow. Just update the appearance description or change the visual style and generate a new character sheet. Now that we have our character sheet, it's time to move on to the storyboard. And this is where things start to get really interesting. Most people would take their character and go straight into a video generator. To be honest, that's exactly what I used to do. The problem is that the AI still has to figure out almost everything by itself. It has to choose the camera angles, it has to decide the pacing, it has to work out the action between each shot. And because it's making so many decisions at once, the final result can sometimes feel random or inconsistent. So instead of asking the AI to create an entire movie from scratch, we're going to plan everything first. And this is actually one of my favorite parts of the workflow because it's surprisingly easy. For this step, I'm using Claude AI to help build the storyboard prompt. First, I upload the character sheet we just created. Then, I paste in a storyboard builder prompt. At first, it might look detailed and complicated, but that's actually a good thing. Think of it as a framework that tells Claude exactly how we want the storyboard prompt to be organized. It includes rules for the character, scene structure, camera angles, visual consistency, and many of the small details that help GPT Image 2 understand exactly what we're trying to create. The best part is that once you've created this framework, you don't have to rewrite those instructions every single time. After that, all you need to do is describe your story idea. For this example, I'm using, while fishing at a quiet lake, the character notices a duck stealing bait from his bucket. A playful competition begins to see who can catch a fish first. Below that, I can also add the visual style I want and the approximate prompt length. This part is optional, but I like including it because it gives me a little more creative control. Once everything is ready, we can send it over to Claude. A few seconds later, here's what we get back. As you can see, Claude creates a highly detailed prompt. It already includes the character details, scene progression, and visual direction. So all we need to do now is copy the prompt and head back to Dzine AI. Inside the chat editor, I'll upload the character sheet one more time and simply paste in the storyboard prompt that Claude created. The nice thing is that we don't really need to change anything here. Claude has already done most of the hard work for us. Now, I recommend using the highest resolution you can reasonably afford. Personally, I like generating storyboards in up to 4K quality, and there's a good reason for that. Remember, this storyboard isn't just a collection of images anymore. It's going to become the blueprint for our final animation. The more detail we can fit into the storyboard, the more information Seedance 2.0 has to work with when creating the video. In most cases, a higher quality storyboard leads to a better looking animation. With everything ready, let's generate our storyboard. And here's the result. Honestly, I think it turned out really well. The style stays consistent across all the panels. The character looks just like our reference sheet. The story flows naturally from one scene to the next, and each panel clearly shows what's happening, making it easy to follow the action. Now, we're going to take this single storyboard image and turn the whole thing into one animated video. So, move over to the video section. The first thing I'll do is upload the storyboard image. Now, when it comes to the prompt, I'm actually going to keep things very simple. Here's exactly what I'm using. Use the reference storyboard as a complete animation film, preserving character consistency and visual style. Smooth camera movement and natural storytelling. No text or subtitles. Audio, diegetic sound only. Natural ambience, environmental foley, and subject-driven sound. At first, this prompt might seem too short. You might think we need to add a lot more detail, but there's actually a good reason for keeping it simple. If we take a closer look at our storyboard, you'll notice that it already contains a huge amount of information. The characters are already there. The environments are already there. The camera angles are planned. The actions are clear. Even the flow between scenes has already been mapped out. Seedance 2.0 can read and understand all of these visual details directly from the storyboard itself. So instead of writing a huge text prompt and repeating everything, we simply let the storyboard do most of the work. And I think that's one of the biggest advantages of this entire workflow. Now, I'll select Seedance 2.0 as the video model. Then I'll choose the aspect ratio, set the quality, keep the duration at 15 seconds, and generate the animation. After a short wait, here's the result.
Yes!
Meh.
Honestly, I was really impressed with how this turned out. The character stays consistent throughout the sequence. The transitions between scenes feel smooth and natural. The camera movements work surprisingly well, and it genuinely feels like the storyboard has come to life. There is one thing I'd like to mention though. If you experiment with the prompt and generate a few different versions, you can often get even better results. For example, in this version, I made a few small prompt changes.
Hey, that's my bait! Got one! Yes!
Meh.
Back you go.
And as you can see, the characters even appear to be speaking, which is a really cool improvement. So let me show you a few other examples I created using exactly the same method. One thing I really like is how dynamic these scenes feel. There are different camera angles, multiple actions happening throughout the sequence, and a nice sense of movement from one shot to the next. At the same time, everything still feels connected. The character stays consistent. The visual style remains the same. Instead of spending hours manually creating a complicated multi-shot sequence, you let the storyboard handle the planning while the AI focuses on bringing it to life. Then I decided to test something completely different: product advertisements. For this example, I created a commercial for the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. As you watch the final result, you can see that premium CG advertising style coming through very nicely. And that's what makes this workflow so powerful. It's simple, it's easy to repeat, and it solves one of the biggest challenges in AI filmmaking. Instead of creating random shots and hoping they work together, you're planning the entire sequence before you start animating. That leads to better character consistency, better storytelling, smoother scene transitions, and fewer wasted credits. I'd really love to hear what you think about this approach. And if you'd like me to share the prompts and frameworks I use throughout this workflow, let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.